Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Season 2 of Royal Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we were searching for a certain she-cat, and unfortunately we did not find her, although I think we all learnt her name, Hemlock, the cat that we are going to be hopefully hauling back to the grotto to be paired up with Bear Pelt whenever that happens. And it seems, unfortunately, we are just having no luck in tracking her down in this forest and trying to convince her to come back with us. Or I suppose it's not much of convincing, since she's already a member of Servant Clan. It's more like, where did you wander off to in this grand forest? So yeah, that's the thing that's happening. But we are in the first turn of Greenleaf. We are at Moon 99. Let's dive into the Leader's Den. We still have all of our alliances, which is good. In terms of events, Royal Clan does not have enough healthy medicine cats. Cats will be sick/hurt for longer and have a higher chance of dying. Despite a long search, Hemlock could not be found by the clan, so we are gonna continue looking for her. And even though I'm really desperate to have her with us, I think Bear Pelt is probably very grateful that the search is taking a while, because it's gonna give him more time to solidify things with Foxclaw before he, eventually has to break up with him. Icicle Speck has gotten a heat stroke. He's been overworking himself, which is not good. Inkfeather, meanwhile, travels to DownClan to resolve some recent border disputes. However, it seems Inkfeather only made DownClan more upset, and I wonder how much of that was under the guidance of Garlic Glow, who is currently supervising things in the absence of our queen, because the queen's recovering from the birth. Freezefur's running nose is gone as well, which is nice. I don't know why I thought he got running nose, but no. He has just recovered from it. Apparently he had running nose beforehand. I thought he had just got running nose, but no. I think he had some beforehand. But good. Some of our cats are feeling good, even though the royal physician, not so much. Okay, now. Icicle Speck is obviously not going to be able to go out on patrols or anything like that. He needs to stay and recover. Garlic Glow, yeah, I think in the last episode, Garlic Glow was also thinking about, possibly getting a second chance at becoming the queen after Rainstar. So now that she's kind of handling things, I'm wondering how much of, Inkfeather's trip to kind of fix that border dispute and the failure of it, I wonder how much of that is attributed to maybe Garlic Glow's influence, because I think a couple episodes beforehand, Garlic Glow actually was trying to convince Inkfeather to run away with her. So I don't know, but I feel like there's something going on. Garlic Glow, she's decided to stay, but maybe she's still kind of keeping close with Inkfeather and maybe trying to influence her in some way. Maybe prepping the Queen's court for when she eventually, hopefully in her mind, takes the reins again. Okay, let's check out our medicine cat den. So Icicle Speck has that heat stroke. Rainstar's recovering from birth. We don't have anything minor. Freezefur was given Poppy as treatment for running nose, and then his running nose is gone. Rainstar was given oak leaves as treatment for recovering from birth. Let's see. Okay, so relationship-wise, Icicle Speck notices that Freezefur is always one of the first to volunteer for a difficult task. Icicle Speck likes the way Ghostfeather laughs. Flailstorm and Freezefur gossip about drama nobody else knows. Okay, we haven't had anything happen beforehand, so I'm thinking it might be a negative effect that happens afterhand? Afterwards? Language. A clanmate accuses Flailstorm of copying one of Foxclaw's jokes. So maybe this is the drama? Flailstorm and Freezefur are talking about maybe someone accusing Flailstorm of copying Foxclaw's jokes, perhaps. Shining Stripe is surprised when Bear Pelt compliments him. Shining Stripe, Foxclaw, and Garlic Glow took a sunbath and had a little small talk. Foxclaw says something vulnerable to Shining Stripe. Flarefreckle always asks where Foxclaw is. Flarefreckle, Foxclaw, and Icicle Speck took a sunbath and had a little small talk. Flarefreckle and Ghostfeather made fun of one another, but it sounds more like insults than playful banter. Bear Pelt and Ghostfeather enjoy each other's company. Okay. We know that Bear Pelt is in love with Ghostfeather. Bearpelt can't help but admire Ghostfeather's pelt. Bearpelt was caught enjoying a moonlit stroll with Foxclaw last night. You know what? I have to appreciate this about the consistency of Bearpelt, but I feel like almost every moon he has like things he does with Ghostfeather, and then immediately afterwards he's got something with Foxclaw. It's like he cannot let go of these two brothers. He is jointly pursuing these two brothers. Ah, Bearpelt. Your shamelessness knows no bounds. Inkfeather explains what a joke means to Queen Rainstar. Something good happens to Inkfeather and most clanmates congratulate her, but Freezefur doesn't say anything at all. Inkfeather had a disagreement with Quillrunner over kits. Okay, interesting. Quillrunner's hackles raise when Flailstorm passes by. Quillrunner noticed Fierce Kit is doing her best today. Foxclaw and Shining Stripe actually get along better today. Ghostfeather thinks Quillrunner is a good singer. Ghostfeather notices how rude Fierce Kit is being to a clanmate. Freezefur asks Fierce Kit to show off her skills. Fierce Kit gives advice to Freezefur. It's not good advice, but Freezefur appreciates the effort. Garlic Glow and Bearpelt apologize to each other at the same time. Garlic Glow checks in on River Whistle every day. Queen Rainstar sees a glimmer of determination in Flarefreckle's eyes. Cinnamon Tail compliments Queen Rainstar for her good disposition. Flarefreckle offered to groom Queen Rainstar, and despite her grumbling, she awkwardly accepted. Cinnamon Tail keeps telling Shining Stripe to stop saying a joke, but Shining Stripe doesn't take his request seriously. Foxclaw gives advice to River Whistle. It's not good advice, but River Whistle appreciates the effort, and Fierce Kit saw Queen Rainstar showing off a skill she never knew she had. So some mother-daughter bonding over here, which is kind of cute. But okay, that's what we managed to get done for events. So let's wrap up and move on to the cat list. Okay, let's continue with the cat list. So first up, just a quick reminder on our loyalties. Before we dive into relationships though, I wanted to point out something that I noticed while looking at my notes. You know how I have started categorizing hatreds and enemies differently? I feel like cats should mutually hate each other in order to be considered enemies. I'm not using that term like as loosely anymore. And I realized that we only have one set of true enemies, cats who mutually hate each other, and that is Shining Stripe and Flailstorm. Yeah guys, they're the only cats who are enemies because they mutually hate one another. How fascinating. Anyways, on to relationships, where we actually had a ton more changes compared to the last episode. So first up, we are diving in with Queen Rainstar. She has actually had a romance gain with Flarefreckle, and I think earlier on we saw Flarefreckle offer to groom her, and Rainstar grudgingly said yes to Flarefreckle. So apparently, this is kind of sad, but I think she and Shining Stripe are kind of growing distant, guys. Like I don't know, I'm getting this vibe. I've noticed it the past couple of episodes. It feels like ever since she had the kitten, she is growing distant from Shining Stripe. Could be that, he's getting distracted with other cats, so she's welcoming the attention of other cats as well. Maybe, as she's recovering in the medicine cat den, she kind of wanted some comfort from Shining Stripe, but he's off doing something else. So Flarefreckle was there, and she accepted Flarefreckle's help, but obviously that made her notice and appreciate Flarefreckle a lot more. There is that. The next cat that we had something with was Inkfeather. Inkfeather has had a romance loss with Quillrunner. So I had high hopes for these two for a long time, but yeah, Quillrunner obviously, he's more occupied with Icicle Speck. Inkfeather, she also apparently likes Icicle Speck the most out of all the cats that she has kind of been looking at. And Quillrunner, he's kind of at the bottom of that pile at this point, even though they are friends, because they had a fight over, or a disagreement over kits. Now, I feel like Inkfeather might have been bringing up the fact that Bearpelt is about to be paired up and how that might affect his relationship with Foxclaw. And maybe Inkfeather was saying that, she's already had a litter, so that's not a problem, that she, potentially breaking up is not an issue that's ever going to come from her side, because because she's already been through that process. She's kind of free to pursue her own relationships, whereas Cool Runner has not had a litter himself. So if maybe she were to pursue something with him, they could kind of, reach they could reach a bump in their relationship if Cool Runner is suddenly assigned to have the next litter. So maybe they have different perspectives on how they would overcome that or deal with that. And whatever it wasn't something she liked. So yeah, she's lost some feelings for him. The next cat that I noticed something with was Flare Freckle. So Flare Freckle has had a romance gain with Queen Rainstar, which we are not surprised to see, I'm sure, because we chatted about it when we were looking at Rainstar. And actually, I think she has the most feelings at this point. Oh wow, for Rainstar. She has the most feelings for Rainstar. Wow. And it all started as something completely innocent because she was just trying to be nice to her older brother's mate, and then it kind of spiraled from there just a little bit. And now I think Flare Freckle likes Rainstar a little bit too much to step back. And the fact that her brother's occupied with other cats is probably giving her the opportunity to continue. Yeah, I think that's... it's giving her a little bit of, I think, motivation to, be there for Rainstar when Shining Stripe is apparently not. So there is that. The next cat I noticed something with was Bear Pelt. He had a couple things going on. So Bear Pelt has reached max love with Foxclaw. Foxclaw is definitely a little bit behind, but if Foxclaw returns these feelings, that if he gets up to max love, then they will be considered soulmates, and definitely that is going to make Bear Pelt feel a lot more secure when it comes to kind of leaving their relationship to have, his litter. And maybe he feels as though at that point it'll be easier to kind of resume things with Foxclaw once his litter has been born. So things are going well for him. And I think in this episode, he had a moonlit stroll with Foxclaw, so he is taking full advantage of Foxclaw being his mate. And then he also had a romance gain with Ghostfella. I mean, he has not stopped, obviously, admiring Ghostfella's pelts, just him in general. He thinks Ghostfella's a very beautiful cat, probably because Ghostfella looks a lot like him. So there's that. And then they were enjoying each other's company mutually, fascinatingly enough. But obviously for Bear Pelt, that was increasing, his feelings for Ghostfella. But on Ghostfella's end, I'm confident it was purely friendly. There's nothing, no romance gain that happened with him. So there was that. So yeah, Bear Pelt, I feel like Bear Pelt is busy every single episode. He's busy pursuing these brothers every single episode. He never has any downtime. And then finally, I noticed something with Foxclaw. So Foxclaw has had some romance gain for Bear Pelt. Now, he is not as, he's not quite as high as Bear Pelt is. He's not maxed out or anything, but it's growing at a slow pace, but it's growing. So I think that's going to help give Bear Pelt a lot more confidence as well. Okay, so that is all we have for these cats in terms of their relationships. Obviously, we don't have any matchmaking that needs to be done. Let's go ahead and take a look at how everyone's going for the day. Queen Rainstar is basking in a sun ray in the camp clearing. Garlic Glow wonders what became of her two legs. Icicle Speck wonders how Cinnamon Tail is doing. Ink Feather is finding the buzzing of the cicadas annoying. Shining Stripe is wondering if Star Clan is watching over cats outside the clans. Flare Freckle wants to go on a patrol. Bear Pelt thought he saw a cat, but turns out it's a two-leg object that just looks like one. Cool Runner is sharing tongues with Cinnamon Tail, who he hates? Okay, well, sorry. My voice went up, but I was just very surprised that he's sharing tongues with a cat he hates. Foxclaw saw a pet two legs near camp today. Ghostfella can't keep up with Flailstorm. Freezefur is spending a considerable amount of time grooming. Cinnamon Tail wants to get to know Freezefur better. Okay. River Whistle is debating swimming to cool down. Flailstorm is happy he doesn't have to patrol anymore. And Fierce Kid is debating swimming to cool down. So hold up, Fierce Kid is actually spending some time with River Whistle. That's cute. That's actually really cute because they're very close together in age. As close as possible. Yeah, I mean, Cinnamon Tail and River Whistle are the closest to Fierce Kid in age, if you think about it. Because they were the litter before her. But okay, that is all we have for the cat list. Let's wrap up over here and move on to patrols. Okay, let's continue with our patrols. We currently have 85.4 prey and we need 39.5. So our royal physician is sick, that's right, so he will not be able to go out. Hopefully he stays in and recovers just well, and he'll be back on his feet soon enough. So we're going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 4. First up, we have got Flare Freckle, River Whistle, Ghost Feather, Foxclaw, Bear Pelt, and Quill Runner. So let's see what they get up to. The patrol finds a nice spot to sun themselves. Nice. Proceed. The sunlight energizes the cats for a training session, and soon everyone puts that energy to good use. So, a very calm, very relaxing day spent bonding. And then we have Cinnamon Tail with those adorable dried laurels, Freeze Fur, Shining Stripe, and Garlic Glow. Okay, let's see what these guys get up to. Garlic Glow suggests this might be a good chance for the cats to practice new fighting techniques. Proceed. Everyone has a nice practice session, picking up a good selection of new tricks to try out in the next skirmish. Okay, so, I mean, these guys put a little bit more effort in than the last batch. Just with training, but I think it was good. They had a relatively relaxed kind of day out. Nothing too troublesome happened. Everyone's kind of just spending the time, I think, breathing and recovering and trying to sort through their complicated relationships with one another, especially as some cats start to grow more distant and others get, ever closer. But okay guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.